All right. So you have chosen Share Space, card number 2. Share space. How to call in. Let's see, where do we want to put your card? Share space. This is how to call in your night. Oh, and they're showing me the bottom of the deck, which is purity with the unicorns. Oh, and we're going to take the next one. And the next one, that's it. Oh, they gave me 2 more. Okay, so we're going to work off of some of these first. So the first one that was on the bottom of the deck was purity. Then we had the new man, because that's what you're calling in. You're not calling in any old paradigm masculine. You're calling in a divine masculine, not gender specific. You're calling in a divine masculine energy. We've got expression with the dolphins, card number 4. And we've got initiation with the whales, card number 9. And the title of this whole thing is How to Call in Your Night. So let's get, from my deck, Pleiadian Power. What does this mean for the share space for my pile number 1? What do these cards want to tell us? How to call in your night. What do you have to do, or what do you have to embody? Oh, you have to embody the Lemurian energy in order to call in the new Lemurian, the new Earth man. Because until you embody that, until you embody this type of energy, then you're going to continue to call in the same type of souls. And so you're wanting someone that aligns with you. But to be the highest expression of the new earth now, you have to be the highest expression of yourself, which means you've got to have very clear energy. You have to know what you want. You have to embody that new light, that magic. You have to have a soul that's standing in its highest expression of where you can be in this now. This is not like you're trying to attain some level of perfection that's beyond what your soul is ready for. This is about you stepping into what your soul is ready for in the highest expression of what it can be in this lifetime. So we're not trying to attain some level of consciousness that's not available to you. If you're watching this, you're ready for these types of upgrades and light codes to awaken within you. They're dormant within you. And so how do you then, we want very clear and specific guidance on how do these new Lemurian divine feminine call in their night? Okay, I've got the Sword of Light Oracle. This is an Archangel Michael deck. What does Archangel Michael have to say? Step into the spotlight. You have a message that the world needs to hear. It's time to share your wisdom. So yeah, it's just exactly like we're saying. This is energy that's not new to you. It lives within you. It's part of who you are. It's part of the light codes that are dormant within you that are ready to awaken. And that means your divine counterpart, whoever this divine masculine is, this knight that you're calling in, is ready to awaken as well, is ready to reach their full expression of who they are as a new earth being. So I'm going to draw from the City of Dreams. Yes, get that name wrong. City of Dreams Oracle by Jackie Franco. I like these decks with these little rainbow holograph edges. What else do we have to say for pile number 1? Calling in your knight. Candle magic. You have to be very specific, very sure of what you want, very clear in your intentions. You have to shine your light bright. You have to be willing to release those things within and around you that no longer serve your highest purpose. So that means if you're in some sort of a lower expression type relationship now, you're going to have to be willing to let that go to call in your knight who's most aligned with you in this now. Everything we're doing in this series, we're also creating, supporting, healing, and videos for you to help you along with everything that we're talking about here, to help guide you and walk with you along this path. So if you want to do this, if this sounds interesting, and it probably does, otherwise you wouldn't be here watching this, then you know, we want to be here to support you on that quest. Let's get a card. Let's get any other information, guidance, or advice for pile number 1 on calling in their knight. What do they have to do? King of Swords. Yeah, I think, again, this is being very clear in your intentions, sending your... You have to be able to create the intention and then send it up in the smoke, up to your guides to help you with this. I always say I don't feel like it's a journey you can do by yourself, that you need a guide or guides or wisdom keepers to help show you, because the King of Swords, if you're watching the video, the crown is very illumined and very enlightened with the holographic foiling that's part of this card deck. And it makes it seem like, you know, there's some sort of like bodhisattva or, you know, it's like Christ's light. Yeah. And so it's embodying Christ's light and Christ consciousness, the New Earth Now concepts. Because I'm pulling down this picture off the wall that I have of Yeshua, and got that same Christ light around the crown as our King of Swords. That's kind of the energy of the knight that you're calling in. And in order to do that, I'm just pulling Mother Mary down too. I've got Mother Mary and Yeshua. You have to be able to reach a level of Christ consciousness that opens up your sacred heart and helps to clear all this past wounding that may be kind of living dormant. And maybe for some of you, it's something you've already been working on or working towards, and you're just going to the next level with this initiation card. So let me see. What, if anything? So there's this person out there. They're not this ambiguous energy. Many of you already feel this knight's energy. There's someone out there that's meant just for you. This is not an ex coming back. This is no one that you've met before in this lifetime. This is energy in your field, in your aura, that you recognize from maybe another lifetime, or if they've this good feeling, loving vibe has just been around you maybe since childhood, and you didn't really know what it was. Maybe you just thought it was another aspect of yourself, but somewhere in there is the energy of your knight, of your divine masculine, ascending with you and embodying these same things that you want to, and working on their own to reach this level of Christ light and new earth now that you are, which is much more attainable now, I think, than it was maybe even 2 or 3 years ago, prior to the lockdown. During that time, many of these divine masculines had plenty of time out in their schedule to start working on themselves, and are reaching a state where, you know, they're ready to come forward, or, you know, maybe they need a little bit more like prep time. But for many of you watching this person is very active within and around your energy field. And hence why you're here, why you're looking for these types of, you know, readings, because you feel it, you know it. Maybe some of you have even been told, you know, more than once, you know, there's this person coming, there's this person coming in. Maybe that person hasn't arrived yet. Maybe you feel them. I know we do a daily, almost daily short on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube of like the daily energies. And we did one the other day called, you know, like, when is my night coming, or something like that. And, you know, people commented like, yes, I've been feeling this, I've been feeling this, I've been feeling this. So even people who maybe like a year ago were like, I don't feel like I'm ready for this, now are saying, you know, I'm ready for this now. So let's use my deck Twin Hearts and see what this knight, what this divine masculine is saying to you right now, what they would like you to know. I wish I had done things differently. I'm ready to start fresh. Can we begin again? So I don't feel like, again, I'm saying this is not an X, this is a new energy. So I think they are wanting you to know that if they could have, they would have been here sooner. But just like you've had a lot of things going on in your world, they have a lot of things going on in their world. And I feel like for a lot of you, there were times maybe where this person wanted to reach out and they just weren't able to because of outside circumstances or things coming up, guides stepping in to maybe kind of not alert this person, but kind of have this person take a step back a little bit from being so, what's the word I want to say? Like so passionate, because the energy is very, very strong for this type of relationship. But in order for it to be aligned and to be centered and to be in a place of very high vibrating, this person can't come to you from the sacral chakra. They have to come to you from the heart. This is not that one where you're like just going to rush right to the bedroom. You may want to, but these types of relationships are the ones that are going to work the best when you move slowly, when you are both very upfront and honest, speaking from your heart space, where you both, it's a much more mature, spiritually based relationship. It doesn't necessarily mean it's like an older person. It just means that the two people involved are very spiritually mature. And I guess you would say like your old souls. So this person could maybe be, you know, like in their 20s or their 30s or their 40s, but they have these concepts within them and they're able to communicate with you in ways that are very astute and very, I guess, very, almost somebody that maybe comes from like the professional world where they've learned how to communicate with other people very well in a very clear, concise, It feels very corporate in a way, but you want that divine masculine energy that is not the Knight of Wands. I mean, you do want the Knight of Wands, but you want that energy that's very clear and balanced. And I think what happens sometimes is, you know, the planetary magnetic energies and stuff, the solar flares and all that, and these divine masculines get really ramped up, and they 9 times out of 10, they know who you are already. You don't know who they are. And so they've got all this visuals and stuff to go on that you don't. You just have energy to go on. You don't have any visuals. Like, you don't really know this person, but they're kind of like the secret admirer kind of thing. And they get very ramped up because they feel you in their field. They can maybe see you on social media or, you know, out and about. I don't know how it's different ways for different people, how these people kind of know you. But and they can want to move forward in a very passionate way because they're really, they get, you know, they also have a lot of like, you know, they've healed their inner child. So they have a lot of like childlike wonder and play, this other side of them. So it's like this 2 sides. The one that is very spiritually mature, and the other, they're like this inner child, like knight on white horseback, you know, playing lords and ladies or whatever. And in order for the relationship to get off on a really strong footing, when the both of you do meet for the first time in the 3D, your divine masculine, your knight, has to be very clear-headed, very emotionally balanced, and not so gung-ho, and not so like, can we be betting? You know, can we be, it has to be very balanced. And you, the same thing. You can't fall all to pieces and like forget who you are. That's kind of where we're headed. We're going towards these, what Spirit is calling power couple, but it doesn't necessarily mean the type of power couple that you hear about like in the media. Although some of you could have celebrity partners, you know, like people that are in the spotlight or the limelight or whatever. But it's more that you are spiritually mature, you're balanced, you're emotionally balanced, and you're building and you're meeting each other from a place of able to clearly communicate what you want. And then you can switch after you meet this person, and after you get on a very clear foothold of what both of you are expecting from each other. Then you can do all the inner child stuff and the, you know, the other stuff that comes along with these types of relationships that are very magnetically attracting to each other. So let me see if there's any other guidance for you. Let me look at all the decks that I have. I know, gosh, I have so thankful for all these decks that I have. Yeah, I'm holding it. Let's get this one, the Psychic. Any other advice for you? Timings is always one people want to know about, and you might as well just throw that to the wind. Spirit's not going to give you timings. Yeah, what you're guided to do if you're concerned about timings is to focus on your divine service work. So it's the old, if you get nervous, focus on service stuff. Because when the time is right for this person to come forward, when Spirit, it's not necessarily that this person can't just, you know, text you or call you or knock on your door or whatever. It's that Spirit is guiding this type of relationship. Spirit is communicating with the both of you, and the person that's supposed to reach out and communicate, which is your knight, not you. You're the lady in waiting. When your knight is supposed to reach out, they will receive very clear guidance from their guides that it's time to move forward. And don't discount that. Yeah, because I'm getting big chills there. Because this is a very spiritually based relationship, because this is a very spiritually mature relationship, this person is very in touch with their inner guidance, their higher self, and with their spirit guides. And they work from a very high level of integrity. And if their guides, yes, I'm getting chills. Chills is my confirmation if you're new here. If their guides tell them that it's not time for them to contact you yet, that the time isn't right for whatever reason, then in integrity, they cannot reach out to you. And even if they tried, somehow Spirit would block them from doing that by giving them something to do or creating a diversion or, you know, some distraction or whatever. So it's not that this person can't reach out. It's not that they don't want to reach out. It's that in these types of high vibing relationships, these soul contracts, really God is your source and really Spirit is leading the way. And typically by now you've surrendered this whole thing to source, to the angels. And when it's time for this person to reach out, they will be very keenly, they will be very directly guided by their guides for them to make this move. So the other thing that happens here is you can get a little angry, like, oh, why is this person contacting me? Especially if you've heard through readings or from your guides, you know, that you're ready, that this person's ready, but you still haven't heard anything yet. Chances are there's something else going on behind the scenes you're not aware of, maybe they're not aware of, why they have to wait. There maybe certain energies haven't aligned yet. Because I don't know how many times I've had people reach out to me, community members that said, you know, God, I wanted to reach out to you. And my guides kept telling me, it's not time yet, it's not time yet. And then finally they told me it was okay, I could. So that's the type of energy you're looking at, as these people are very in touch with their guides. And I think they sometimes may get a little miffed about that too. Like, why isn't it the right time? You know, it feels so good. The energy feels so right, especially with some of these astrological transits. The energy just may feel so good and so right. And they just may want to charge forward and tell you everything that they feel about everything that's going on and how they remember you from all these past lives and how amazing you are. And they just want to like rush you away, begin this, you know, brand new live stream with you. And it's like, okay, hold your horses, buddy. You know, it's not the way it's going to work out here. Now, the way that things will transpire after you meet is different for each one of you, because all the, you know, circumstances are different. It's more the way the person approaches you for the first time that has to be very balanced, because it's going to be very emotional for the both of you. And you have to be able to obviously feel your emotions. You're not robots. Be emotional, feel your emotions, but then you have to be able to regain your composure and be able to, in a mature fashion, talk to each other about what's going on. And then, you know, have fun with, you know, what was your journey like? What was my journey like? But it can't be emotionally unstable in the, like, you fall to pieces every time they contact you. And it's not one of those where you're like constantly checking up. Once you know who they are, you're not checking up on them. You know, they're not constantly. It's very, very balanced. It's very emotionally mature, because you, by now, if you're watching this, have done plenty of work on yourself to know how to act with yourself, how to have very strong boundaries regardless of who the person is, whether they're like the King of England or your person, or, you know, your pet, or it doesn't matter. I'm working with that on my dog too, like, you know, having this, she's very wild. And there's times when we walk when I want her to be right next to me. Most of the times I do let her be wild, but I want her to be right next to me. Just, you know, not constantly, but just so that she can have that level of self-control. It's very hard for her to have self-control. She's very reactive. And I think this morning I told her, I don't care if it's a roasted duckling way over there that's calling out to you. You stay right here next to me. So it's that kind of like being able to have this very strong boundary, this very strong level of self-control that, okay, maybe you do get really super excited, but then you're like, okay, I'm getting imbalanced in my emotional body. Okay, I need to be able to pull back, clear that excitement, ground down, and work from a place of grounded clarity. So let's get the modern left here, and let's get any other advice for you from this. Got 2 cards, and I do walk around in my readings. Thank you for my wireless mic. So, you know, it may not come back to the camera right away, but that is just how I work. Okay, yes, see, you got, the final cards you got are the Wheel of Fortune, and it came out with the Ace of Pentacles. So the advice is very clear. I saw 2444 on the timer there. This is happening. This is going to manifest. It's only a matter of time as to the when. It's only a matter of your guides, you know, saying how. And it's all really guided by, by source and your guides and your higher self as to when this is going to happen. So pull back from being so worried about timelines. You're not going to get any timelines. I can tell you right now, you may watch 100 readings and they may all say something's going to happen in the next 7 days, and you can pretty much be sure on this journey that that's not going to happen. So part of this is releasing expectations about timelines and time frames and feeling into the energy of what's going on. And you may be able to feel when there's certain astrological transits and so forth that the energy is ramping up and there's a gateway maybe coming up where there's a high probability that it might be time for your person to reach out. But if there's other extenuating circumstances during that gateway, then it's not going to happen. So adjust your expectations accordingly. It's not going to take like forever. It will happen in this lifetime. It's just really go into patience and just kind of live your life as if this person was already around somewhere, which really technically they are. Their energy is very close in your field. The majority of these are twin flame relationships, but of the highest caliber. And so that person is very close to you in their energy field and with their higher self. So, you know, sometimes just pretend like maybe they're already around and maybe they're out of, you know, out of town or something, or maybe, you know, they went on a trip or on a little mini vacation. Just pretend like they're here and, you know, and work with the energy as if this thing has already happened. And maybe you're just spending a little time by yourself. And, you know, play with it like that and play with them in the 5D and ask your guides to send you signs that they're around, and, you know, ask for what you need and it will be given to you. All right, my friends. So I'm going to leave this here. And I don't know, I'm feeling right now like this really isn't a pick a card, but we'll see. We'll see if I'm guided to do another one. And if not, then maybe this is just a one-stop shop here for all this guidance, and maybe it's not different for anybody else, but I'll see where this goes. All right, you guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me here, and we will see you all again soon. Take care.